Hi, Kim. Welcome back to Women of the Bible. Old Testament this time again. We still have a few more to get through on the Old Testament. I'm not going to cover everybody in the Old Testament, but we're going to cover a lot. In this installment, it's Dinah, D-I-N-A-H, Dinah. She is the only daughter of Jacob. Now imagine, she got like 12 plus brothers. Ladies, can you imagine having that many brothers? And you the only girl, and you the baby of all the boys. Okay? You're the youngest. Now, can you imagine? You're reading through this story. This is Genesis 34. The whole chapter is nothing but on this. Can you imagine you're the only daughter with a whole bunch of menfolk? And someone takes a liking to you. Well, number one, they got to pass a whole bunch of tests. Number two, you better try and be nice. Well, she decides she needs to go out into the fields and see the women and talk to the women. It's one of her jobs with her working with her dad and her moms. And while she's in the fields, a prince comes by. Imagine that. Our dreams come through. Here comes the prince. He's not as nice as you think. In the meantime, he takes a shine to her. He likes her. And he decides he defiles her. Now, he's heading for a world of hurt. Her father finds out. Lucky for him, her brothers are in the fields working. They don't know. They haven't come home yet to find out. The prince goes to his dad and asks, "Look, I really love her. Can we see if they will let me marry her?" And the boys are getting madder and madder by the minute. And he asks for grace. He asks for her to marry him. Goes to her father and asks for marriage. And a task was assigned. Circumcision and 3 days. And the task is completed. The men are circumcised. The task is completed. And after the 3 days, he and Dinah are married. Should be good. Shouldn't be any problems. Except for 2 brothers. 2 of her brothers are so mad. They can't hold their anger in. And so they kill all the men except for, of course, the prince. They kill all the men of that tribe and take Dinah back to her father. Now, mind you, there was a covenant built between the 2 tribes that if they agreed to do this, then the marriage would take place and we would be happy. We'll live happy. We'll be good. The 2 brothers causing trouble don't know when to stop when they're told. God said, that's it, I'm done. And he brought down the wages of war from the Canaanites. And they've pretty much been warring ever since. Now, the thing to think about here is, what would you do? We see it playing out today like crazy. Someone's hurt. Okay? I'm going to go take them down. Would you seek vengeance? Maybe. But then again, I may be falling down on my knees and saying, God, forgive them. They knew not. God, help me. Walk me through this troubled time. So your thought today where Dinah is concerned, and if you haven't read the story completely, I'm going to say go through and read it completely. And insert yourself into the story. How would you react if you found out this had happened to your child? Whether it's a daughter or a son, doesn't matter really. But if this had happened, would you be quick to anger and seek revenge? Or would you be a slow burner? Would you be like the two brothers who started a war? Or would you do something different and try and find a way to find redemption? The prince asked for forgiveness. The prince asked for her hand in marriage. The prince said, help me. He did everything asked of him. And Jacob said, okay, that was God's requirements. You've met God's requirements. Here is my daughter. Think about what you can change within yourself, especially if you're mad or angry. How would you move forward and not incur God's wrath? How would you say, God, help me so that I know that I'm doing right? That's Dinah, the only daughter of Jacob, with many, many brothers. Next time, it will be Zipporah, who is actually the wife of Moses. She's talked about a couple of times, and that's in Exodus. So we'll be looking at Exodus 2, verses 15 to 22, Exodus 4, 24 to 26, and Exodus 18, 2 to 6. I hope that you find peace and forgiveness in everything that you do. God bless.